Hare Krishna, welcome devotees. So today we have a continuation of one more shloka. So anybody would like to read the shloka and the translation?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, it is 13 and 14 both, na Prabhuji? Just,
It's actually 14, but you can read 13 as well.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Uh, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, text 13 and 14. अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां मैत्र करुण एव च निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः समदुःख सुख शमी सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी यतात्मा निश्चया मयि अर्पितमनो बुद्धिर्यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियाः. Translation by His Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. One who is not envious, but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Thank you, Mataji. So, so I'm picking up this particular chapter from Srimad Bhagavatam because here in this shloka, Krishna is mostly talking about how one is, equal. So, who is not envious, and how he is balancing himself in all the situations, how he sees. So, that is what is explained. So, in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the seventh canto, first chapter. So the entire first chapter is dedicated on this, how the Lord is unbiased or equal to everybody. So I'll just read the translation from 9 to 12 because the entire chapter. Shukadeva Goswami talks, he discusses with Parikshit Maharaj how the Supreme Lord is actually looking at each and every living entity in the same way, because we think that he's biased. For some, he's very favorable, or someone he's not favorable. Uh, he's favorable to devatas, he is not favorable to daityas. So that is what we think. That is how even daityas think. So because the atheists, they think there's no God, he doesn't, support us, or he doesn't help the needy people. But it's the other way, how one understands these matters. Um, so here, Shukadeva Goswami, so I'm reading from the ninth, 10th, 11th, and 12th. So I'll just read the translation. So he says the all pervading personality of Godhead exists within the heart of every living being, and an expert thinker can perceive how he is present there to a large or small extent. Just as one can understand the supply of fire in wood, the water in a water pot, or the sky within a pot, one can understand whether a living entity is a demon or a demigod by understanding that living entity's devotional performances. A thoughtful man can understand how much a person is favored by the Supreme Lord by seeing his actions. So, next shloka, 10th one, he says, when the Supreme Personality of Godhead creates different types of bodies, offering a particular body to each living entity according to his character and fruitive actions, the Lord revives all the qualities of material nature, Sattva guna, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna. Then, as the super soul, he enters each body and influences the qualities of creation, maintenance, and annihilation, using Sattva Guna for maintenance, Rajoguna for creation, and Tamoguna for annihilation. So, in the 11th shloka, he says, O great king, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the controller of the material and spiritual energies, who is certainly the creator of the entire cosmos, creates the time factor to allow the material energy and the living entity to act within the limits of time. Thus, the Supreme Personality is never under the time factor nor under the material energy. In the 12th shloka, O king, this time factor enhances the sattva guna. Thus, although the Supreme Lord is the controller, he favors the demigods who are mostly situated in sattva guna. Then the demons who are influenced by tamoguna are annihilated. The Supreme Lord induces the time factor to act in different ways, but he is never partial. Rather, his activities are glorious and therefore he is called Urushrava. So, devotees, um, the Lord, actually, this very nice example has been given that how a father is equal to all the children he has. So the obedient one and the mischievous ones. So he will give actually more attention to the mischievous ones. So we are actually the mischievous children. So he'll keep an eye on us, and the way he treats, we all have done in our houses, how we treated the obedient children or the mischievous one. So similarly, the Lord approaches according to how their behavior or the character is. So these shlokas actually explain that. Because the Supreme Lord has entered, He lives in each heart. He enters all the hearts, or it can be atoms, or any directions, or any species. So He takes care of everybody. That's how He is equal. But it's up to the living entity to absorb how he will reach out to the Lord. That's what he's telling in Bhagavad Gita in another shloka also. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam stateva bhajamyaham. So how one surrenders accordingly, I will respond to him or reciprocate with him. So we all know that actually Lord favors more. If you take one step, he comes 10 steps forward. That we have experience in our life. Yeah. So most of us, how we came to devotional service, and we are continuing with that. The moment I take one step, how he comes 10 steps closer, somehow or other, we have experienced that. Right. So that's how it has been explained in the Shastras also. How is very dear and closer to actually devotees. Okay, it's not that he's biased and he doesn't care about the demons. No, he's because he's entering and residing in everyone's heart, so he knows each and every living entity. So it's upon the perceiver. So like this very nice example is given. The moon is there, and its reflection falls upon all the objects, be it water or oil, or it can be any other thing. So how one looks at. Okay, the moon is round, bright in color, but when you look in a oil or in a water, there's a different reflection. So similarly, when we look at the Lord, or how we perceive the Supreme Lord, that's how based on my view, the reflection is going to affect. So this is a very nice example which has been given. So coming to these shlokas, Krishna is talking about, sorry, not Krishna. Shukadeva Goswami is explaining about more of the how the influence of three gunas are actually there. We all know that there are different types of foods. There's the different types of gunas which are influenced by the way you eat. So a sattva guni person who likes to eat a sattvic, very simple, not too much pungent or too much spicy. So he's considered to be in sattva guna. A rajoguni person likes to eat very spicy, very heavy, heavy as in not in the quantity. I mean, when you take it in the mouth, it's very heavy for you. So that is a rajoguni person. And a tamoguni person actually eats stale, which is old. So it doesn't look fresh, though it is very much packed nicely. So that's why devotees, we need to avoid most of the packed foods. Mostly we need to eat fresh food, hot food, which has been prepared very, very much. That is what is recommended. That's why we have the culture of, you prepare food, you offer, and you consume it. Yeah, of course, Srila Prabhupada mentions that prasadam can be kept for the next day also. If it doesn't get spoiled, you can have, or else it is recommended that we prepare today and we eat. So the food plays a different role altogether in the influence of consciousness, because the way we are developing our consciousness, we are going to approach the Lord, because it's about the speech, the thought, and the decisions, or maybe the actions we take. It's going to influence our approach towards the Lord. So bhakti has different categories, as in it has different influences of these three modes. So how you have to come to a level, one can come to a level where you can see equal, okay, and how to maintain that sameness, that is very important. So a person who speaks in the mode of goodness, a sattva-guni person, when he speaks, you get very much inspired. There's hitting too hard, and there's transformation. So we get inspired when even when we attend a class, very very good topic they pick up, and we get inspired. We also want to follow that. So that is inspiration. Okay, and we want to have that transformation, as in the changes in our life. So that is Sattva-guni person's talks, which gets influenced to us. Yeah, and a Rajoguni person, when he speaks, you get motivated. There's a difference between inspiration and motivation, because a Rajoguni person, when he speaks, you get motivated. You want to do it, and but there's no inspiration, or there's no transformation. Okay, so the Rajoguni person, mostly he speaks about material things. We all have seen nowadays so many ads come. So many influencers are there in the society. A lot of things are happening through social media, different applications they are using, which they're trying to influence on people so that they can follow. Like recently, there's this one um, game in Bangalore. I'm not sure Bangalore or which city. Um, there's a Korean game which the three daughters, young daughters, they're kids, so they played, and the Korean game, it leads them to death. So they jumped out of the balcony. So you get motivated, but the end result is, tamasic. So a tamasic person, this is how it works, Rajoguna. It pushes you, but there's no transformation. There's no upliftment to the sattva guna. So passion, it is different. But in terms of the ignorance or the tamoguni person, there's no motivation. There's a lot of information. There's you keep getting. So, for example, you see the influence of politics. The discussions keep happening. Your day in, day out, people you see, especially nowadays, you see the older generations, the whole day they're watching news. This is happening in Andhra Pradesh. This is happening in central government. This is happening internationally. They keep getting the information, but they're just to themselves. There's no transformation at all, right? And they will just blah 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 blah. They'll blabber in front of others. This happened, that happened. So it's according to the modes we are getting attached to. That is how it is going to be influenced. So the so the other shloka, what Shukadeva Goswami explains is about the devatas and daityas based on their gunas. So the daityas are definitely in the mode of ignorance, because they're ignoring the Lord. The devatas, of course, they are influenced more of sattva guna. That's why they reside in the heavenly planets. They want to go towards the Lord, so they go up, up, up. realms which are there. Um, because Satyaloka is the topmost realm, and they are trying to go to that level. Of course, devatas also have a mixed bhakti, because though it's called Mishra Bhakti, because though they are influenced by Sattva Guna, they are the devotees of the Lord, but still there's the influence of the material hankering. They want to enjoy this world. Okay, so even we are also similarly like that. I want bhakti, I want to approach Krishna, but at the same time, I want to comfort myself with whatever the requirements of this world. That's how we are living. Yeah, there no discomfort should be there surrounding me. So, Shukadeva Goswami explains this about very nicely about a rope. So the three modes are, we have seen the ropes, right? Yeah. So how it is binding everybody, but it doesn't bind the creator, because the creator has made that rope, and he has bound yourself. Actually, we have bound ourselves with the rope because we have got influence. So Prabhupada explains about this of the jailer and the convict who's there. So how a jailer comes inside the jail, and the person who's inside the cell thinks that the jailer also is one among them. Um, but actually he's not like that. So Krishna is the actually first book distributor, because we are celebrating the award ceremonies now for the book distributions which happened past since December. So Krishna came and he first distributed to Arjuna on the battlefield. So he's the big, he's the main person there. So there's one, you know, example of how a book distributor, a devotee, in dhoti kurta, he's going inside the jail and he's giving the books. From the outsider, a person who is seeing outsider, he will see that the person who is in the jail and also the person who has gone into the jail for the book distribution, both are same. Yeah, but that's not the case, because the person who is going inside the jail to give book is actually free. So similarly, the Supreme Lord, when comes here, he's free from everything. But people will think he is amongst us like us, and he's biased to someone he's treating very nicely. He's taken sides. He has taken sides of Pandavas, or he's taken sides of the Devatas, and he's against the Daityas. No, he's there, everyone. But he's treating with the way you're able to interact with them. So interact with the Supreme Lord. So that is how equality is. So that's how we have to understand. So, Srila Prabhupada, in one of the letter, he beautifully explains. He is very poetic. Um, in one of the letter, he says that this importance of this human birth, he compares to wood. Okay, and because we are dealing about purifying our consciousness. So, as I mentioned in the beginning, our consciousness involves our decisions, our speech, our thoughts. So, Prabhupada mentions about this in one of the letter, that he compares to wood, and the every decision is the chisel. A craftsman, actually, he's using the chisel to carve a wood. We have seen that. So, he gives it a shape. So Prabhupada in this letter, he very beautifully he says poetically that it's about the wood and how one is going to chisel and make a vigraha of the three bending form of Krishna, Tribhanga. So this is the perfection of life. So end of the life, the decisions, every hammering we have taken, the decisions, the curves we have made, the shapes we have made. So the perfection of life is that we have made Krishna in our life. So very poetically, just in one letter, Prabhupada's thoughts are so beautiful. So he explains about this. Yeah. So a person, actually now coming to the three modes, how it influences us. Um, so a person in the sattva guna, he actually, we of course have heard about Shuddha Sattva. So a person who's in the influence of Shuddha Sattva, um, um, actually Sattva with Bhakti is actually Shuddha Sattva. So a person who's hankering for that, he goes back to Godhead. Okay. So someone who's in Sattva Guna, we know that he will become a Devata. He's given that position. Okay. So now when we think that I'm doing devotion, but there's a more influence of Sattva Guna, then definitely next life I'm going back to Swargaloka, and I'll exhaust that and come back here. Because Rajaguni person, he's going to take birth again on the earthly planes. Okay, not exactly in India or this planet, on the earthly planes. Because Rajaguna influence is like that. You'll come to the middle planetary system, and the Tamoguni person will definitely take among the animals. Now we see so many animals here and lower planets also. It's all about the consciousness. So, say a person in Rajoguna, he's more interested in wrestling. We all see nowadays in YouTube, there's wrestling matches, a lot of politics which is happening, or sports which gets you motivated. So he's watching more of those, and he's getting influenced by that. Yeah, but whereas a Tamaguni person, he loves to watch how different animals behave. They're so cute, and they get attached to them. So that is there. And unwanted videos, which I don't want to mention. This unwanted so many videos. Yeah, they want to watch it. They love, they enjoy watching them. So those are the Tamaguni person, and definitely that leads to you know lead them to that life in the future. So that the letter Prabhupada writes is about the influence of these three modes and how it is going to change their decision. And because this human birth is very rare, so you're going to become in next life. So that is what he's explaining. So this is how now a person who is in a sattva guna, he definitely thinks about how to he enjoys relishes the nature, beautiful nature, trying to help people, open schools, let me give education, let me be part of this social responsibility activities, let there be hospitals, okay, free food, meals, and upliftment of the society. That's how a Rajoguni will work on. That's how his influence will be. Yeah. So these influences are definitely there. And but a Vishuddha Sattva uh, person, he will definitely have these thoughts, because if you see devotees are very kind. Of course, they also want to give people education. They want to give hospital care, schools, all those things are there. But at the same time, they want to give devotees. They want to make them devotees. They want to uplift them from this human birth, and they want to take them out of this clutches of material life, the sufferings which is there. So that is the thought of a Vishuddha Sattva person. So he definitely is very dear to the Lord, because something which we grab the attention of the Lord, he looks at us. So that is very important. So, so the Lord, as he has entered into all the living entities, the influence of the three modes, that is how it is going to act upon us. Mhm. So we have seen in the Japa also uh, how a person who's dozing off, he can't control his sleep, or there's no interest at all in chanting, so he's in Tamagoda. So this is what I meant when devotion comes in the three different modes. So a Tamoguni person, he has no interest in chanting. Somehow he's pushing and he's dosing how he wants to. The thing is, I want to clear my rounds, okay, but at the same time, he can't handle himself. So we all have that experience. Sometimes we have this round spending and we want to do it in the night. No, no, before sleep I have to do it. But that 2, 3 rounds also, it's very difficult to push it. It may take even half an hour, 1 hour to finish it off. During the night we have this experience, and sometimes we become so tired and we are not able to do it. Okay, let me do it tomorrow. Leave it today. So that is what we have seen. Okay. Whereas this Rajoguni person, he is very much distracted. There's emails which is calling him. He wants to look into. There's, the phone is very much distracting. Yeah. So he wants to look at different applications. So that is Rajoguna. Japa. No, I see these all things. While I'm telling this, we all been doing. So somehow we have to come to at least Sattva Guna. Uh, okay. So Tamoguna, Rajaguna, we have more experience. Okay. At least myself, try to maintain Sattva Guna, but these things get attracted. So Sattva person, what he does, so Sattva is more focused on the, like he wants to sit straight. He's more focused on the stature of the body. He does pranayam, all that to control the mind, all that is there. But his focus is more on, okay, he's very like, no, no, I have to focus on my posture. So that is how, and he wants to chant. But Vishuddha Sattva person, he is now there's a difference between Sattva and Vishuddha Sattva. He wants to please Krishna somehow or the other. He's always thinking about him and he's chanting. So this is one just example of taking japa in three different modes, but the different things is a very long session, which the influence of all these three modes and how a person is able to see and how the Lord is reciprocating. Because when I talk about equanimity, it's not about how I am seeing everything equal. It's also about how the Lord is equal to everyone, how he's tolerant, and how even I am tolerant, and also I am seeing everything equal. Okay, so the Lord actually is how he is looking equally to everybody. This is very important because the influence of my association of the modes, that is how the Lord is going to respond. So this is one aspect of japa. The clothes also nowadays, this is very much happening. We all live in a society. We all live in cities. Um, Srila Prabhupada explains about one of the incident that when he is going around with all the devotees, he tells that these trees, they're beautiful. Some are giving fruits as some are just giving, the different colors of leaves, which is very attractive. But he mentions that their mistake is that in their previous life, they were naked. So because they were naked, that they got this life as trees. Now we can just understand when we go to some, trips, we see in the beaches, especially in the Western countries, people want to be naked. So we all understand, or sometimes there are people who want to be naked in the jungle. They don't want to wear clothes. So now we can understand that what their next life would be because they promote and they talk about exposures of skin and they say it's all fine, it's natural because we have been natural bodies. It's actually we are born naked, so it's very nice to be naked. There are people who like maybe in India it's not there, but in the Western countries, they have this philosophies, and that's how they are. So Prabhupada mentions about that, and Shastras mention about that. Vedas explain that these kind of people who are very much influenced that much that they'll become trees. Yeah. So Krishna responds according, okay, you want to be naked, fine. You'll be given that particular body. Yeah. But if you see the Vedic way of clothing, so Vedic way of clothing means what? We cover as much as possible to cover our shame. Okay, so when we meet each other, it's not about how we are looking at each other, it's about how we are going to discuss each other about the Creator. That's how the Vedic way of life was. So those days, people would just wrap around because it was unstitched by the modern industries. Now we are all wearing all these stitched clothes nowadays with the machineries. But those days, with the natural methods, they used to wear clothes just to cover themselves and not get attracted each other. So that was the Vedic way of clothing, right? So the more, so the Vedic way of cloth is like very modest way of living. So, but nowadays you see how much we are influenced when we go to any parties or we go to any marriages or any occasions. We are more attracted to the person. Hey, you look at her, what she's wearing. Hey, look at him, the way he's dressed up. Yeah, but it's very important because Prabhupada mentions about um, So he very nicely, I forgot the phrase, but he says that to address, you need to dress yourself properly. So, yeah. So he says dress to address. Okay. So of course, when we go in front of anybody, we should be dressed properly. That is very important, but it's a different way. Now, this has influence in our temples also nowadays, in bhakti also. Nowadays, what is happening is more of with the, especially we are going with according to the color coding. Everyone wants to wear this print of this color clothes on this occasion to the temple, and jewelries and so many things they are wearing. And this is the border of my dhoti, and it should match with the my kurta, and the nowadays so many things are coming up. And one this was very funny. One person, one devotee, he said he has all the colors of chanting bag. So because he wants to wear to the temple the particular, it should match with the dhoti kurta he's wearing. So people are there like that. So it's when we go to the temple, you see how bhakti also is becoming mixed. There's more of attraction towards each other rather than the Supreme Lord. When we go to the temple, he, Supreme Lord is there, Jagannath is there, Radha Krishna is there, but we are glorifying each other. So there's a different influence which is happening in front of the Lord also. Okay, live alone in the streets. When you go in front of in the front of the Lord in the temple also, we are not getting attracted. We're just talking to each other, and we tell this association, because for us the association meaning understanding is that we just socialize. But Shastras say different. When we say association, we hear more about the Lord. That is association. Yeah. So a person who is, I'll finish with another one particular example. A person coming to this hearing katha, a person uh, who, say for example, who is in Vishuddha Sattva, he's in the complete goodness. He is completely involved in the content, not about the intent. This is very important. He is more into the content. Okay, what topic about the Lord and what I'm going to hear. So he gets continuous inspiration from them. He doesn't matter, who the speaker is. But for us, oh, this speaker, okay, I'll listen to him. Oh, today this person is taking the class. Okay, वो सादा है, वो उतना ये नहीं है. So that is there. Okay. Um, Even in terms of kirtans also. Okay, what time is my slot? Oh, okay, afternoon 2 o'clock. Okay, everybody would have gone for prasadam. Okay, that time I should sing. Okay, why can't I get around 5, 6 o'clock? That is the peak time, because that's when people will dance and I have to sing, and my kirtan, my voice will be very nice. So that's when everyone will be jumping. So that is a different mode. So we can understand how the things are happening. And of course there's the different modes which is happening. Uh, so a sattva person will actually give more what is there. So it influences everything, be it eating, or when we do japa, or be it hearing to the classes, or the way we are living, or the way we are treating people. So that's how the influence of these three modes is actually taking very much part in our life. We have seen even during the festivals, or when we do some service in the Rajbhog or anything, how much we are influenced by the modes. You're cooking for the Lord, you're laughing, you're talking about, you're cooking for the Lord, but you're criticizing devotees. You're telling that I'm in Rajput. Oh, I did service. I did Rajput. So, oh, Mataji, oh, Prabhuji, great, Prabhu. What service you have done? Oh, because he's not getting it. So, but, oh, very nice. But the person, who doing in the kitchen, he's preparing, but he's talking, वो माताजी ने ऐसे बताया. वो प्रभु जी है ना ठीक नहीं है प्रभु छोड़िए. They're preparing for the Lord in the Rajput kitchen. You're preparing for the Supreme Lord. We have all done this, we are doing it. So we need to try to avoid all these things and focus more on when I'm cooking for the Lord. He's there, He's going to accept it. So, what mood we are going to prepare ourselves, that is our decisions. That's how our consciousness keep changing. So, we need to come to this particular consciousness. So, keeping this in the mind, because these things are going to decide our lives and influence, and Lord is going to see us. So, that's the meaning of equality. So now this topic is very lengthy because it's like 2 3 hours we can go and discuss, but I have to stop it because there's not much time for discussion also. I have to jump into another class which is already started. So we please make sure that don't say that Krishna has influenced or Krishna is very dear to that particular devotee and he's not dear to me because I'm also chanting, I'm also wearing tilak. Why Krishna is not responding to him? No, the way you change your consciousness is going to respond to you. So that is all I can say. Okay, I'm not saying it. That's what Shastras mention about. That's how the great devotees and acharyas have mentioned. Okay, thank you very much for your time here. I'll end my class here. Okay, we'll definitely meet
Hare
again.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for a
Thank you.
wonderful class.
Thank you,
Prabhuji,
Mataji.
you were talking about
Yes,
Srila
Mataji.
Prabhupada's letter, which you were trying to explain to us. Please, can you give
Yes,
me
yes.
the reference because I was reading Leelamrit, but because of my poor memory, I am unable to recollect that letter. Please, can you
Yeah.
share it?
This is a one part of a lecture I was hearing. I don't have the reference, and I don't think in Leelamrit all the letters have been mentioned. There are different letters which have been uploaded in the folio in the Veda base.
Okay,
Yeah, but this is like uh, 2 3 occasions I've heard about this letter. He very
okay. If
poetically he mentions about this.
Prabhuji, you have my number in case you can ask somebody and give me the reference. I would like to read it, Prabhuji.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, Mataji.
Thank you,
Um,
Prabhuji.
yeah, so Kalyani Mataji. Yes, okay. Yeah, I think you had messaged me once, no, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Sure, Mataji.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Yes, thank
Hare
you,
Krishna.
devotees. Dandas pranam to everybody. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dharat Pranam. Thank you very
Dandas pranam.
much. Thank you for your
Thank you.
class, Krishna.